Namaskaram. Shri Mahaganapatiye Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to today's humble samarpanam on Mayilpeeli. Today we shall chant, learn and understand the slokas of Narayaneeyam Dasakam 89. Let us first chant the sloka and then understand the meaning. Dasakam 89 is about the story of Vrikasura and the testing of the sage Bhrigu. Vrikasura, also called as Basmasura, did penance to Lord Shiva, who can be easily pleased and who is always ready to grant boons to his devotees. Basmasura got a boon which gave him the capacity of being able to kill anybody by placing his hand on their head. He wanted to test the efficacy of the boon on Lord Shiva himself. That's when Lord Vishnu saved him by making the Asura keep his hand on his head himself, and lo, through the boon that he just got, he was immediately killed by himself and turned to ashes. This proves that though Lord Vishnu is difficult to please, his devotees are good people. This is said about Lord Shiva, who is the prime and foremost devotee of Sri Mahavishnu. On another occasion, some sages doing penance on the banks of river Saraswati sent sage Bhrigu to test as to who is superior among Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu, the Trinity. When he went and abused Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, both of them got angry. Lord Vishnu did not get angry at all, but instead he treated the sage with hospitality, and thus it was proved that Lord Vishnu is the supreme Brahman. Dasakam 89, Sloka 1. Rama jane jane yadiha tava bhakteshu vibhavo rasadyas sampadyahi tadiha madakritva dashaminam prashantim kritvaiva pradishasi tatah kamamakilam prashanteshu shipram nakalu bhavadiye jyudikhatam. Here, while praying to Goddess Mahalakshmi, Bhattadri says, according to my understanding, O consort of Lakshmi, in this world prosperity is hard to come by for your devotees because of its propensity to generate pride. To those whose minds have not become calm, you fulfill their desires only after bringing mental tranquility, whereas to those who have already attained the state of mind, you grant their wishes without delay. For your devotees there can never be any downfall, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 89, Sloka 2. Sadhya prasada rushitan vidishankaradin keshid vibo nijagunanugunam bhajantah brashta bhavanti bata kashtama dirgha drushtya spashtam vrikasura udaharanam kilasmin. O Lord, in accordance with their inborn inclinations, people often worship Brahma, Shiva and other gods who are easily gratified and equally easily irritated. Due to lack of foresight, such persons soon come to grief. Alas, the tale of the demon Vrikasura is indeed a clear instance of this, said Bhattadri. Dasakam 89, Sloka 3. शुकनिजस्य तु नारदमेकदा त्वरिततोषमपृच्छदधीश्वरं स च दिदेश गिरीशुमो आसितुं न तु भवन्तमबन्धु ससाधुषु. Vrikasura, the son of Shakuni, once sought the advice of sage Narada, as to which God is quickly propitiated, and was directed by the latter to do penance to Shiva and not to Vishnu, who are not favorably inclined to the evil-minded. Dasakam 89, Sloka 4. Tapastatva goram sakalu kupitas saptamadine shiraschitva sadhyaha puruharamupastapya puratah ati shudram raudram shirasi karadanena nidhanam Jagannatadvadre bhavati vimukhanam kvashubadihi. O Lord, getting no response after doing severe penance to Shiva for 6 days, Vrikasura lost his temper on the 7th day, and by threatening to cut off his own head, he compelled Shiva to appear before him immediately. Brikasura asked of that Lord Shiva for the very trivial but pernicious boon of being able to cause the death of anyone by placing his hand on the head of the other. How can anyone who has no devotion to Krishna possess wisdom or discrimination? Asks Patadri. Dasakam 89, Sloka 5. Moktaram bandha mukto harinapatiriva pradavassotarudram दैत्याद्भीत्यास्म देवो दिशि दिशि वलते पृष्ठतो दत्तदृष्टिः तूष्णीके सर्वलोके तव पदमधिरोक्ष्यन्तमुद्वीक्ष्य सर्वं दूरादेवाग्रतस्त्वं पटुवटुवपुषा तस्तिषे धानवाय. On being granted the boon, Asura charged at Shiva in the like manner as a lion released from confinement rushes to attack its savior. Shiva thereupon took to his heels out of fear of the Asura and ran about in all directions, all the time looking back at his pursuer. While the entire world watched silently, you, espying Shiva from a distance, making for your abode, assumed the guise of a clever celibate brahmachari Brahmin and confronted that demon before he reached Vaikunta, said Patadri. Here we understand that Brikasura, as soon as he got the boon, wanted to test it on Lord Shiva himself and charges towards him. Shiva starts running for his life and runs towards the Lord's abode. Soon the Supreme Lord assumes the form of a celibate brahmachari, confronts the demon before he is able to reach Vaikunta and saves Shiva. Dasakam 89, Sloka 6. Badram te shakuneya brahmasi kimaduna tvam pishachasya vacha sandehaschainmaduktau tava kimunakaro shankuli manghamaulau ittam tvadvakyamudaha shirasi kritakara सोपतच्चिन्नापपातं भ्रंशो ह्येवं परोपासितुरपि च गतिः शूलिनोऽपि त्वमेव. Accosting the Asura with the words, "Hail to you, O son of Shakuni! Why are you running about now relying on the words of that ghost? In case you doubt my words, why not place your hand on your head?" Completely taken in by these words of yours, he placed his hand on his own head and immediately fell down dead like an uprooted tree and turned into ashes. This is what becomes of the devotees of other deities. However, you alone are indeed the refuge for even Lord Shiva, said Bhattadri. Dasakam 89, Sloka 7. Bhrugum kila saraswati निकटवासिनस्तापसाः त्रिमूर्तिषु समादिशन् अधिकसत्त्वतां वेदितुम् अयं पुनरनादरात् उदितरुद्धरोषे विधौ हरेऽपि जजहिंसिषौ गिरिजया धृते त्वामगात्. Once the sages residing on the banks of river Saraswati, wanting to find out who among the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, was most sattvic in disposition, deputed Bhrigu, the son of Brahma, on this quest. Brahma was greatly angered by Bhrigu's lack of due respect to him when he approached him, but controlled his temper, while Shiva, to whom too Bhrigu showed similar disrespect, rushed to kill him, but was prevented by Parvati. Bhrigu then approached you, my lord, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 89, Sloka 8. Suptam ramanga bhuvi pankajalocanam tvam vipre vinignati padena mudoti tastvam sarvam shamasva munivarya bhavet sada me tatpada jihnamiha bhushanamityavadihi. While the sage Bhrigu kicked you, O lotus-eyed one, you were sleeping on Lakshmi Devi's lap, rose with joy and addressed him thus: O noblest of sages, please forgive me for everything. Your footprint on my chest shall forever remain as a decoration ornament to me as the most famed Srivatsa. The Srivatsa mark that we see on the Supreme Lord is the kick that sage Bhrigu gave to the Lord on the pretext of testing his sattvic nature and supremacy. Dasakam 89, Sloka 9. Nishchityate cha sudridam tvayi baddhabhavaha sarasvata munivara dhadire vimoksham tvameva machyuta punashchuti doshahinam satvochaikattanumeva vayam bhajamaha. Having thus identified you as possessing the sattvic quality to the highest degree, those sages residing on the banks of the Saraswati worshipped you with steady devotion and attained salvation. We too, O Changeless One, worship you alone, who are the sole embodiment of Sattva Guna to the most exalted degree and are totally untainted by the fault of subsequent degeneration or decay. Praise Bhattagiri. Dasakam 89, Sloka 10. Jagat Srishthyadau Tvam Nigamanivahairvandibiriva Stutam Vishnu Satchit Paramarasanidvaita Vapusham Paratmanam Bhuman Pashopavanita Bhagyanivaham Paritapashrantyai Pavanapuravasin Paribaje. O all-pervading infinite one, O Lord of Guruvayur, for the eradication of all my sorrows, I worship you, the Supreme Being, the non-dual one, without a second of the sort, the only existence, consciousness, bliss, who were at the commencement of creation, extolled by all the Vedas like bards as it were, and who are the embodiment of the aggregate merits of the Gopa maidens. O Vishnu, in the beginning of the creation of the universe, your praises were sung by the Vedas, just as the minstrels in the king's court do. O Infinite One, you are the pure consciousness, highest bliss, undual embodiment. You are also the personification of all the merits of the cowherd women put together. O resident of Guruvayur, I intensely worship you for the removal of all my sorrows. Praise Bhattagiri. Hare Krishna. Govinda Nama Sankirtanam. Govinda Govinda. Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Shri Haraye Namaha. Shri Maha Periyava Sharanam.